ecosystem. Welcome back to ATI, the Car Shipping Business Channel on Tuesday Nights Live. My name is Jay. Oh, there we go. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think I'm ready to go. You know, my goal every Tuesday night is to bring you another trade show level business presentation to you wherever you are, because your automotive business deserves the latest in transportation news. And if you're busy, and I know you are, in a minute, I'm going to give the welcome show lineup. You're going to know what to expect if you're watching on demand. You can click on the video time code links below this video, read the description. You'll see what you need to know. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, tell your friends. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. I appreciate that. So tonight's show is another energy show. You know, I love automotive trade shows, and Digital Dealer is coming up. And we're going to talk about why Digital Dealer, the agenda, speakers, exhibitors, and we're talking about the excitement of the show. And again, we love to talk about why we go to the trade shows, how the different shows have different things to offer, who's going, and all that. So before we get to that, we're going to bring in Paul Machin. He's our data friend from Black Book, and he's going to talk about the affordability crisis. It's no secret, but where are we? What should we expect next? Trends and data. He's got a presentation for us. And then we're going to bring in our friends at Preowned Auto Logistics, Rapid Recon, McCollister's Transportation Group. They're just some of the exhibitors that are going to be at Digital Dealer Energy in October in Las Vegas. So we're going to talk about more about that. So please do stick around. Please jump in the live chat, ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business, break out of your vertical, because it's Tuesday Nights Live on ATI Auto Business, the Car Shipping Business Channel. My name is Jay. I'm your host. Welcome back to the show. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to ATI Tuesday Nights Live on the go. That's right, I'm remote again. I'm on the move. Everybody's on the move. So please do jump in and say hello. Here's what I want you to do. Please feel welcome. Please do feel welcome. If this is your first time here, please say hello or just enjoy the show. And everybody's welcome. Carriers, dispatchers, brokers, shippers, dealers, auctions, tech companies, insurance, equipment, OEMs, everybody. If you're an automotive, little secret, if you're an automotive, transportation's probably happening around you. So that's why we're here. So please do say hello. Let us know what vertical you fall into, what vertical you're trying to learn more about. You're looking for equipment, you're looking for a carrier, are you trying to grow your business? It all happens here. We're going to go into industry news. I'm going to try and move into that. We got so much to cover tonight, so we're going to keep it moving. We're going to bring Paul Machin in with his affordability crisis in less than 30 minutes. So this show's going to go quick. And then we're going to bring in our friends that are going to be Digital Dealer Exhibitors, Preowned Auto Logistics, Rapid Recon, McCollister's Transportation Group. What's going on at Digital Dealer? Why Digital Dealer? All those things. Do me a favor. Please do leave a like. Click share, click copy, grab that YouTube link. Let us know how we can help. Jump in the live chat. Do that. So do me a favor. What we're going to do is we're going to go into the live chat right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back. Location Services, Collateral Recovery with Pinpoint precision and advanced proprietary technologies. Your single source for loss mitigation solutions. LS Recovery, certified and compliant. LS Skip, experienced recovery. LSPR, advanced plate recognition. LS Impounds, precision capture. LS Remarketing, nationwide auction partners. LS Keys, professional locksmith. LS Transport to any destination. LS Titles, verified documentation. LS Auto Notice, secure fulfillment. One contact, one contract, we do it all. Location services.
Are you completely stressed out from all the calls and the contracts and the verification of loads when nobody answers the phone? Call Murphy Auto Dispatch Services today. Murphy Auto Dispatch Services has over 15 years of experience in the transport industry. We are your office while you are on the road. We book, we verify, and we bill out your loads for you. We have an excellent accounting staff and an even better dispatch team. Give us a call today at 417-273-0021. Or if you want to email me, it's murphyautotransport31@yahoo.com. Give us a call today.
Recovery, Skip, LPR, remarketing, keys, transport, and titles. Location Services provides nationwide collateral recovery with pinpoint precision. One contact, one contract. Visit locationservices.com. Links in the live chat. Let's go into the live chat. Let's say hello. By the way, mic check 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. I think you can see me. You can hear me. I appreciate that. It really helps a lot. Kimberly is here first. Welcome to Tuesday Nights Live. We're glad you're here. We are glad you're here. We do appreciate it. And, you know, again, trade shows, we can't stress enough. We just can't say it enough. And I know, like, it lands on everybody at different times. When you kind of have that light bulb moment, you're like, trade shows, yeah, that's a great place to network. And again, I can tell you, now that we've been to so many trade shows, the folks that have the most loads on the load board, guess where they met some of their biggest clients? Anybody want to guess? It's the trade shows. Danny B is here. What's up, Danny B? Thanks for saying hello. Chris Chamberlain, what's going on, Chris? Carlos Braxton, what's up, Carlos? ACB Logistics, feel free to put in your information. Yeah, Paul Machine's been cranking out awesome info, so we're so lucky to have him with us again. Ty is here, Cars on the Move. Oh, John Robertson is here. What's going on? You know, and we're really proud that ATI is kind of an expanding resource, a regular, I mean, every week we go live, and this is a great way to catch up with the community, what's going on. And it's not just transportation, it's our specialty. And we think we're some of the best at talking about transportation in a meaningful way, more than just buzzwords. I mean, what's really going on? And then we take that to the trade show, and oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe what happens when we start talking transportation at trade shows. It's insanity. And so, so thank you for joining us and participating. We do appreciate it. I'm chomping at the bit to get to industry news. I'm going to keep the live chat open. Feel free to jump in the live chat. Feel free to hang in the super chats, if you will. Hey, what's up, Mark Rodeke? Yeah, we got some cool stuff tonight. So I'm going to get right into it. I'll tell you what, right after this, I'm going to go into industry news. Again, it's a shorter show. We're going to jump into the presentation in 20 minutes. I'm going to have to talk fast. I'll be right back.
Transport Auto Quoter is by far the leading auto quoting software on the market, and the only auto quoter with a pro version that comes preset with accurate pricing for anywhere in the U.S. So you don't have to worry about it. The best part is that no change with your current software is needed. Just plug TAQ in and start booking jobs. Carriers can easily plug TAQ into their current websites and start making money right away. I bet you're wondering how we do this instantly and accurately 24/7. Well, constant analytics is the key. Our Price Watch team is constantly monitoring current market conditions, paying close attention to seasonal and quick-moving industry changes. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of time and data to maintain good pricing, time that most of us just don't have on a daily basis. So free yourself up. Using TAQ Pro is really a no-brainer. Save time and money, maximizing your leads and optimizing your online investments. You'll finally be able to sleep well at night knowing that TAQ is on the job selling for you 24/7. Never missing a potential job.
Everybody wants to be part of a bigger story. Auto transport is a vital part of that story. Vehicle reconditioning starts when your transport arrives at the dealership. The story starts with you. For our auto retail customers, as yours, full satisfaction.
You know that car dealers can see the rapid recon difference with transparent communication through the vehicle reconditioning process, auto remarketing, and dealer inventory management software. Visit rapidrecon.com. And oh, look at that. Thank you so much, Mark Grodicke, Pro ABD and TAQ, an awesome auto transport business. What if you could find an auto shipping quote and broker software you can trust? Provide instant, accurate quotes online with Transport Auto Quoter by Superflow Systems and move with Pro ABD CRM. Get TAQ, check it out. TransportAutoQuoter.com, SuperflowSystems.com, links in the live chat. Mark's in the live chat. Ask your questions, share your thoughts, grow your business here on ATI. All right, let's do this. Thank you so much, Mark. Let's jump into, where is my, if I close it, I don't know. All right. Mic check 1, 2, 3. All right, we're okay. Digital Dealer Energy, episode 261 in a row on a Tuesday night. Why? Because you go to digitaldealer.com. I'm going to move this pesky bar. Go to digitaldealer.com. Digital Dealers in Las Vegas in, what is that, 2.5 weeks, something like that? Oh, 14 days, 13 days. What you do is when you look at the Las Vegas Strip, see the Mirage? Okay, it's going to be at the Mirage. Go to the Mirage. Well, you got to get registered first. But then when you get to the Mirage, you go to the expo floor, and here's the booths that you want to check out. We got Rapid Recon up here in the middle. Next, that's Lotpop. Here's Preowned Auto Logistics and McCollister's Transportation Group. So those are some of the exhibitors that we're going to be checking out and talking to. There's a lot happening there. You can see there's a lot of booths, and those are just the exhibitors. There's speakers, there's presentations. Ty is going to be there, and he's sharing the good news on LinkedIn. We do this because on ATI, man, we're serious. We're bringing the back of the store to the front of the store, and we're grabbing people at the front and taking them around back. And we do this every Tuesday night. We had Auto Auction Experience last Tuesday night. Amazing show. If you missed it, check it out. We were talking with Kelly at auctionvcommerce.com. It's auction support for dealers. And with the advent and growth of digital auctions, they need it more than ever. Tonight's show is dealers and services in the ecosystem for auctions, carriers, shippers, brokers, and loads. Now, and last week we started talking about how Ford is giving dealers 6 weeks. 6 weeks to decide if they want to continue selling EVs. I don't know what the hurry is, but it's a big deal. Which is interesting because a battery show that was just happening shows how far EV supply chain has to go. Okay, so supply chain has a long way to go, but you got 6 weeks. What is wrong with this picture? Why? Well, it could be that Ford stock plummeting $1 billion. Maybe that's it. Ford Motor Company stock plummeted Tuesday after previously announcing supply chain and inflation problems will cost the company, $1 billion in the third quarter. And shareholders ain't going to like it. Supply chain woes have resulted in Ford placing 40 to 45,000 high-margin, high-demand trucks and SUVs to be left in inventory at the end of the third quarter due to supply shortage of proper parts to complete and sell the vehicles to dealers. Ty, is that why we've been seeing at night mass movements of new trucks? I'm just guessing here. I'm just spitballing. Company expects the vehicles to be ready to sell to dealers in the fourth quarter. Good times ahead. With the vehicles not ready to sell to the market, Ford adjusted their third quarter earnings. Oh, wow. Much lower than Wall Street's $3 billion estimate. Ford announced its likely indicator that auto parts shortages and supply chain issues are still ongoing. Oh, you think? Huh. Okay, it took us $1 billion to find out. Toyota cuts production plan, again on ongoing chip shortage. This is across the automaker board. Toyota cuts its production plan by 100 grand in October as chip shortages continue, which, if you listen to the economists, they'll tell you this stuff. But the EPA is still considering tougher emission rules for heavy trucks. Why not? The consideration comes after Congress passed new incentives to speed the adoption of zero-emission vehicles. Got to just hurry, hurry, hurry. The U.S. EPA will consider adopting more stringent greenhouse gas emissions rules for heavy trucks after Congress passed new incentives to speed the adoption of zero-emission vehicles, even though supply chain has a long way to go, even though there's part shortages and chip shortages. In March, the EPA proposed new rules to cut smog forming and greenhouse gas emissions from heavy-duty vehicles. The agency said it will reopen the proposed GHG rules after passage in August of the climate and spending. This is the big one. I got it wrong. Too much pressure. The Inflation Reduction Act. It is all over the news, this thing. You'll see it everywhere. The IRA, Inflation Reduction Act. But you know what? Truck and engine manufacturers representing companies, they are raising their concerns, and they're going to try to keep their higher emitting trucks longer. This is going to be a fight. The big change is here in the Inflation Reduction Act. Congress definitely sent a very strong message backed by significant resources. Oh, lots of money going on. And GM, Environmental Defense Fund, team up on EPA push. The two entities issued a joint statement pushing for an accelerated timetable from the U.S. EPA, GM, and the nonprofit EPA. So they want the EPA to set standards requiring at least half of new vehicle sales involving tailpipe emissions by 2030 and cutting greenhouse gas emissions by 60%. Just, oh my gosh. 2030 is around the corner on this stuff. GM has the ultimate goal of eliminating tailpipe emissions from new light-duty vehicles by 2035. But meanwhile, suppliers are hiking charges for all automakers, not just Ford. Auto part makers contacted said they raised prices on parts by 7 to 20%. A 20% supplier hike is a big deal. Automotive industry suppliers are raising prices to their customers across the board, not just Ford, which again warned this week it was taking $1 billion inflationary cost hit. Automakers across the board are being asked to shoulder more of the burden suppliers have faced from spiking energy, labor, and raw material costs. Suppliers raising 7 to 20%. How do you think they feel about that? Gee, I wonder if we can cut further into the transportation budget, said one guy somewhere probably. Record show. No, that's not going to work. Record shipping costs add to the automotive supply chain woes. A stagnating vessel fleet alongside a steady recovery in demand since the COVID-19 spurred record rates for ships that each carry as many as 6,500 cars across the globe. Let's look further into this. Okay, so earnings for freighters that move autos and industrial machines across the globe have surged to about 80,000 a day, the highest since at least 2000. And for a shipper over a 60-day voyage, that would imply about $740 a car more. That's about fivefold since the pandemic. This is just ocean vessel shipping cost surge. That's more than 20%. And the surge has some companies worried about being able to secure ships to haul vehicles. There's problems everywhere. But we got to get that EPA thing going. Used car prices could indicate what's next for inflation. Wall Street experts are saying the decline in used car prices could signify that inflation is easing, and that's good news. Used car sales often seen as a measuring stick for the rest of the economy. as many factors are tied to their performance, such as gas prices, consumer confidence, supply chain issues, interest rates, Inflation Reduction Act. And if that, here's some bad news. China's Commerce Ministry says U.S. EV tax credits might violate World Trade Organization rules. I I really wanted to say World Trade Order rules. What is the same difference? Newly passed Inflation Reduction Act has received praise from many automakers who operate within North America, but now China is the latest to criticize the new law. The country has threatened unspecified action if needed to protect its interests from the discriminatory law. Gotta love it. South Korea and the European Union have also voiced concerns of these EV tax credits. China will continue to assess and evaluate and maybe implement legal measures to protect its interests. South Korea has labeled the new law a betrayal, and the European Union also made statements recently addressing the law. So all is not well in the Inflation Reduction Act within the New World Order, as it were. Okay. Carvana executives face criminal charges in Illinois. In mid-May, the Illinois Secretary of State filed several motor vehicle-related charges against Paul Bro. I'm just going to say it that way, right? Because I don't know this. I don't know the pronunciation, but it looks like Bro, who is identified as Carvana's investor relations website as the company's general counsel. Wait a minute. The Secretary of State's going after the general counsel with charges? We're talking just a couple? A Carvana company executive facing dozens of criminal charges tied to the company's alleged motor vehicle licensing and record violations in Illinois. Illinois court records show May 13 filing charged Bro with 27 counts of failure to transfer vehicle titles by a dealership and 50 counts of improper use of titling or registration. It's not a big deal. It's just a couple. It's a clerical error. Am I moving fast enough? Beware of the spreading Fedazon model. Amazon, the commercial, socially, and rapidly growing transportation monster, so-called, allegedly. In April, with little fanfare, a California Amazon package delivery contractor filed suit against the company. Amazon claimed the complaint belonged in arbitration, not the courts. Zip it, bro. Last month, the federal court in Seattle agreed with Amazon. Now the case, if the contractor decides to continue, will not be argued in public court, but before an arbitrator and in private, small room. Dimly lit. It's unlikely we'll ever know the outcome. The contractor involved is not an independent owner-operator, but a small company that hires and supervises local delivery drivers. And by the way, it is not the first. I found, this lawsuit. I found the lawsuit. I found the complaint. It's a 44-page complaint. Got a copy of it. Going to go through it. Not tonight, another time. It's like fly low, or anyways, this is going to get interesting. Charging EVs overnight might get a lot more expensive. What great news. God, geez, Jay, you got so much good news tonight. Study found that peak net electricity demand could go up by 25% by 2035. The same year, California said it would ban the sale of new gas-powered cars and trucks. Demand could rise as much as 50% if every vehicle on the road is a plug-in. Oh my God, there'll be electrical outages at night when everyone's trying to charge their car. It's a guess. I don't know. By then, the grid will be perfect. Zip it, Jay. But Tritium enters the U.S. charger market with a new design. I found this really interesting. And I don't really get into all the mobility and all that stuff, but this is kind of the stuff I think that we're going to see more of this at dealerships and stuff. Australian EV charger supplier has rushed to open its first U.S. production plant in hopes of solving a persistent problem for EV owners, public chargers that are out of order. It's already a big problem, even for the few people, looking for them. Consumers are displeased mainly by inconvenient charger locations or non-functioning chargers, and too many chargers are out of order because maintaining them and repairing them is a big undertaking. So Tritium's innovation, design and construct the universal fast chargers as a system of small modules. Each part of the charger can be pulled out by a mobile service technician who can determine which module is not operating and plug in a replacement. Pretty smart. And ADESA has launched a CR, condition report feature for EV batteries. Everybody's clamoring to, we're going to have to know, the consigners, the dealers, the auction. Everybody wants to know, what is the deal? How's the condition of the battery? Well, a new condition report featured to showcase battery performance of electric vehicles has been launched by ADESA. Powered by Recurrent, an EV battery and range analytics company, the EV range score is available on a majority of used EVs that transact on the U.S. market, providing buyers and more transparency and confidence when purchasing EVs. We do know, though, that the amount of historical data of EVs still needs to grow before, everything is copacetic, but it's being addressed. Speaking of, this is pretty cool. Rapid Recon has a new feature. Part of a window sticker for a consumer is going to be the reconditioning value add and work done. Rapid Recon introduces authentic OEM MSRP window stickers for accurate used car description details. By partnering with industry's best, Rapid Recon brings dealers OEM window sticker vehicle build sheet automation that integrates with most every vehicle manufacturer to auto load unedited original window stickers or OEM build sheets for your car dealership's vehicles with all the reconditioning data. That's a great move, and it's going to help buyers to know rather than guess. That's a big deal. And by the way, the U.S. economy and the dealership contribution, I mean, look at that. Over 16,000 dealerships providing over 2 million jobs. Look at that. Over 60 employees per dealership, 1.18 trillion in total sales annually, a payroll of 83 billion, and over 100 billion state sales tax paid. Dealerships add to the economy. There is no doubt about it. So be thinking about that next time you want to just go all OEM agency model. By the way, Steve Greenfield has joined the Run Buggy team. Steve Greenfield at Automotive Ventures. That's interesting news. We will see as the auto transport software space continues to heat up. It's getting hot. It's getting really hot. Always be closing, but we don't have any cars. Well, be closing anyways. This is how you get your car shipping business news. It is on Tuesday nights live on ATI. You can send in your comments, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Please do. I love to read viewer mail. I love your comments and feedback. If you see this, you can get the podcast. Please do get the podcast on all major podcasting platforms. Look for ATI Auto Business. And, Ty wants to talk to you. You can text him. You can call him. He's in the live chat. The guy's right there. We come to you live every week. It's Tuesday night. No show tomorrow, but we're back on Thursday with Dispatching Live. We got Melting Block of Ice on Friday on Cars on the Move. Yeah, Thermonuclear Thursdays. I think Thursday's show is either going to be Bait and Switch or, I don't know, something like that, because the load boards are so much fun. And Friday, we got the Melting Block of Ice with Tim Scatalis of Max Digital. And Paul will be back with us on Friday. So this is the Car Shipping Business Channel. My name is Jay. Thank you so much. So let's do this. Right after these messages, I'm going to add Ty, and we're going to get to Paul. We still have so much to do, so stick around. We'll be right back.
Why is auto shipping such a challenge? If shipping cars is part of your job, you've wasted time assigning and tracking shipments, waited around while deadlines are missed, and struggled getting anyone to answer your questions. And if you're a carrier moving cars, you've wasted time with bad contact info and shipments that aren't available, waited around for help locating vehicles and receiving payments, and struggled getting anyone to answer your questions. At PAL, we integrate systems for seamless API automations, provide daily email updates, custom portals and reporting, provide ACH quick pays, and we never hide from any questions. Join the auto logistics revolution because it's time to do things better. Preowned Auto Logistics, vehicle transportation made safe, reliable, and easy.
Preowned Auto Logistics provides car shippers with experienced professional drivers, a fully insured modern fleet, and friendly, knowledgeable service Please do visit preownedautologistics.com to learn more. Links are in the live chat. All right, so here we go. We are with our friend. Yes, we got Ty live. Please do jump in the live chat. And yeah, double check that audio, Ty, but I think we're good, buddy. Oh. Okay, so wait a minute. So I got this weird, hang on one second. I just had it again. I had some kind of strange, okay, wait a minute. Hang on one second. I think I know what it is. I think I was getting feedback. Okay. I think I got it fixed. Okay. Yeah, we had a crazy crazy feedback thing. Dude, buddy, can you see me and hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. How are you?
Oh, awesome. All right, cool. I'm good. I'm on the move. I'm moving and shaking. What'd you think of the industry news?
Well, I like it. I'll tell you what, we talk a lot about dealers, auctions, and transportation, right? So those are the three things we talk about. So what I've been doing is I'm working on a slide deck. I guess that's what you call it. But here's what ATI does. We talk about, or Cars on the Move, ATI, however you want to put it. But we talk about auctions, dealers, and transportation. And so, for example, here's one. We can make this a Ask Larry game. Seriously. Okay. And you got three categories. I'm going to name a company, and you put the company where you think it goes: dealer, auction, transportation. Rapid Recon. Like, I've really been thinking about this. Rapid Recon, right? Where does Rapid Recon go? Do they go to the dealer, do they go to the auction, or do they go to the transportation? Watch this. This is where it gets even better. If you pick a company like Rapid Recon, you say, well, what does Rapid Recon do? They help with the reconditioning process, managing the inventory, getting the cars from key to key. We learned that term because we got to go to Oaks Kia in Kansas City, and we got to hang out with a guy named Chris, and we got to learn and see literally what key to key means to these people. So you're at a dealership and you would say, well, I think Rapid Recon's dealer. Well, are they a technology company? Are they reconditioning? Well, let's go with dealer for fun. Okay, follow me. So you watch these guys, and where I'm going with this, Jay, is that everything that we talk about on the show that really doesn't seem like it has anything to do with transportation actually touches transportation. There's nothing that we talk about that can't somehow touch transportation. Did you know that?
I'm going to say this too, is that, like, for a while, I was conflicted. I'm like, gosh, are we out of bounds? And now it's fully clear. Listen, if you think we're out of bounds, one day you're going to find out we were right the whole time. Now, that sounds pretty harsh, but it's all automotive. If you buy or sell cars, you're in car shipping.
Okay, so watch. I got another example. I did this on purpose. I didn't know you were going to do that. You're asking about industry news. I didn't hear about industry news, okay? I didn't know I just knew you were going to do it. With schedule's different. So I'm sitting here, I'm following along. Look what I got on. Can you see this?
Oh, that's funny, man. Run Buggy. Yeah, I got a Run Buggy hat too. Totally. Run Buggy. Run Buggy
okay,
is
now, it for a reason.
One of the lead dogs.
Wait. I wore it for a reason. Yeah, there's a reason. I want to find out, where does Run Buggy go? Does it go in the dealer category, the auction category, or the transportation category? I'm gonna bust you on this one.
Right,
so what is?
So repeat the question. Say it again. Does Run Buggy?
Run Buggy. Okay. By the way, I heard you yapping about these trade shows. We go to these trade shows. This is where we meet people, right? This is where we get a hat. This is where we get to talk to people. We know the guy, that Mark, and we've had meetings with him. We know these people. So Run Buggy. Everybody tell me which category Run Buggy falls in. Does it fall in the dealer category? Does it fall in the auction category or the transportation category? Somehow in your mind, imagine three columns. There's dealer, auction, transportation.
Okay,
where does Run Buggy fit?
So funny because, I had a couple conflicting thoughts. And one is that whatever vertical you thought you were in, you are right now merging into another vertical and you may not even know it.
There you go. That's my point.
Yeah.
So traditionally, we would have thought, based on our previous relationship with a company like Run Buggy, that Run Buggy would fall into the transportation bucket. Maybe we should call them buckets: dealer bucket, auction bucket, transportation bucket.
And
Jasen Rice uses buckets.
We better do a report with graphics like ASAP, because we're gonna open the newspaper in 3 months and somebody will be like, yeah, I heard you guys on ATI and I thought it was a great idea, so I released a book.
Well, but either way, what I'm saying is this is what ATI is here for. Here's my whole point. A company like Run Buggy, if you know them, you would want to put them in the transportation bucket column. I don't think Run Buggy is in that anymore. I think Run Buggy has moved over to the dealer bucket. Why did I say that? What do you mean? Well, I don't know, but you bring in a guy like Steve Greenfield and you get in a series, I think it was a Series A, $17 million. I'm thinking maybe you're not just a technology for the carrier guy anymore. I think maybe you're doing something different, right? So it doesn't matter what I know, what I don't know. My point is that ATI, we don't talk about your truck. We don't talk about your trailer. Not as much as we should, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But straps, we don't talk about diesel fuel. We don't talk about maintenance programs. We're pretty bad about talking about actual transportation numbers and stuff.
But
we can do that, and we got experts to do it.
Well,
but what I'm saying is that we're here to, how do you pay for all that stuff?
And that's why I'll just say this for anybody that is like, man, yeah. Well, that's why ATI is a channel with several shows, because on Live Carrier Advice, we actually get into that stuff. That's our Wednesday show. On Tuesday nights, we're talking business. On Fridays, we're talking business. And on Thursdays, we're just talking about everything that's hilarious on the load boards.
Hey, by the way, I got a phone call and gave Sue a referral today. A nice lady called and wanted to become a dispatcher. So sent her to Sue. Sue's doing a great job. And that's the other thing that I really appreciate about this channel is that we really do surround ourselves with good people. I'm looking at Jim Lehman in the live chat. I'm looking at Paul Machin live chat. I sent Jason Rice a text today. Tim Scatalis. I can just keep going.
I know. Well, Jim Lehman emailed me right before the show, and he wanted a link because he's doing manual work. I'll tell you, I'll listen to CBT, auto remarketing, automotive news while I'm doing stuff. I'll listen to the podcast. So thank you, man. If you're cleaning out your garage like Jim and you're listening to ATI, well, that's awesome. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. And then, I'm thinking about pre-owned auto logistics, and Jeremy's going to be on tonight. I really, it's like I get calls a lot. Hey, I want to figure this out. And it's not always the guy who wants to transport. It's maybe a tech guy. Like Paul Machin, like this guy gets calls, and he's a connector too. He puts, well, what are you looking for? I know these people. So yeah, the trade shows are a great place to meet people. This channel is a great place to educate yourself. Also, shout out to Chris Chamberlain in the live chat. I saw Chris on LinkedIn. Chris got into LinkedIn.
I love how Chris really, he'll throw nuggets into the live chat on different shows. He tunes in on Fridays. He tunes in on Wednesdays. He's here on Tuesday night. And I love that. He's he reflects the kind of audience that we encourage. That just get into everything. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to have a business in 5 years, right?
Yeah, we're blessed. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're blessed. We have really solid people that do care about us.
They're still piling in. Marco's in the live chat.
Marco.
Gerard's in the live chat. Yeah, Marco.
Yeah, and that's another company, McCollister and Marco. So anyway, to have that relationship with guys like this, in my opinion, is really, really important, because we do get calls about enclosed. We do get calls about logistics. We do get calls about reconditioning. And to be able to know a company and organization and the people within it, it's really important. And it really, for me, is a good gauge as to the work we do, right?
Well, I want to clarify and say, while it sounds like we're having this like high five champagne party, what we're trying to do is explain that with the depth of information there is to cover and how diverse our community has grown, we're so excited and we appreciate it, because we know that, there's about a million other things you could be doing right now, like trying to clean out the 1,000 emails you got today. You could be working on that. I'll tell you what, we got to get to Paul. So let's get Paul up in here. I think he's waiting in the wings.
Yeah, Paul.
So, all right. So, Paul, and I'll tell you what, do me a favor, Ty. While I bring in Paul, he's going to give a presentation. We'll both kind of courtesy mute. And so, Paul, get it ready because here comes Paul. And then if you are, if you're in the, if you're after Paul's presentation, and you're an exhibitor, a digital dealer, and you're in the panel discussion, hang on about 15 more minutes or so. And then we're going to bring you in after we bring in Paul. Paul's getting his audio ready. Again, please do feel free to jump in the live chat. This is ATI Auto Business. If you miss all the other shows, just tune in Tuesday nights, even if you can join us for 15 minutes, really at the 30-minute mark. Here's a secret. If you miss everything up until like the 30-minute mark, then you join in for 30 minutes, starting at the 30-minute mark to the 1 hour. You'll get the feature segment. You'll hear industry news part 2. This is a shorter show than normal, but hey, Paul, can you see me and hear me okay? Oh, he's taking over the screen and everything. Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, how's everyone?
There we go. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Super excited. You know,
Awesome.
Been a very productive last couple weeks with all the without saying the news and whatnot. So it's whenever there's uncertainty in the business, more precision data becomes higher in demand. But I got to say, I'm humbled that your kind words, Ty, your kind words. I mean, we connected a little more than 2.5 years ago. Wow, what a ride it's been for us. And to see how the audience has changed, and the friends we have made and the connections we have made, it's proof positive that what I love to say, a rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. But really, I mean, I can't even talk. Words can't even touch. Like, it's just, I'm talking to Paul Blackbook. Who does that?
So,
thank you, Paul.
I'm going to try to. I'm going to keep this as brief as I can, but there's a lot of information that I'd like to be able to share with the group. Can you guys see my screen? Okay.
And we see it, and we're in like multiple slide mode. If you want to go to like single slide presentation mode, I think that's probably what you want. Maybe up there in display settings. But I'm just giving feedback. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. Super. So, we typically in the industry, we talk about 6 to 8 weeks before whatever's happening in wholesale typically hits retail. So beginning of the year, the wholesale market was just increasing like crazy, and the retail prices started increasing right behind it. And so we're seeing, as you can see in the bottom right hand, in the middle right here, see that, beginning about week 30, we're in week 38 now, that decline in our wholesale inventory prices that we've seen. So I went back and I took a look at each one of the weekly reports, and starting on August 2nd and calculated all the way through the end of September. And what just came out today, another 0.9% drop week over week. If this pace keeps up by November the 8th, every dealer will have lost a total of 12.5 to 14% in wholesale valuations. So, yeah, I mean, that's anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 every $10,000 of value that they own. All right.
Wow.
Until I posted this, it really didn't resonate well. People like Jasen Rice, Tim Scoutalist, myself, and a few others that I know of, we've been pushing. Don't hold on to your cars. Sell them, sell them, sell them. 30-day or less turn because of how volatile our market is. I mean, that just goes without saying. And one of the big drivers that impacts the overall economy and pricing, especially in the used vehicle market, is the housing market. That's the primary engine that affects just about everything else. Because if you really think, and I've got some data that I can share on that the housing market, we had a slight uptick today, but reported for August sales, but the overall experience in the mortgage industry and the housing industry is a drop. People are being stressed that financially they are not able to afford to live today, right? And I'll go through that and what I mean by that shortly. So our wholesale prices impacting retail prices yet. We're starting to see the decline, as you see here. So we're retaining 136%. So we're still about 120% high compared to where we were in January 2021. So it's kind of like saying, you paid, gas was $2 a year ago. Now gas prices are $4, was a high of $5. Gas prices are dropping. Are they really dropping? No. Our retail prices are still elevated in relation to where they were well over a year ago. Does that make sense, guys? So
yes, sir.
When you compare the price increases that the consumer has to pay, not just for used vehicles. I mean, how many new window stickers with the addendum have you seen posted on LinkedIn? $20,000 adjusted dealer markup, $75,000 ADM, or $125,000 ADM, and people are paying it. They're still ordering it. It blows us away. But you have to. Someone will end up paying that bill. You can only kick that can so far down the road. Here is our used vehicle inventory listings. What's pretty cool about this is we started the year 160% fewer used vehicle listings in the nation. We've picked up about 10%. So we're 6% short where we started the year at, right? We still got 6% to pick up. But the mix of who owns that inventory is what tells the story. So there's a greater percentage of independent dealers on the nation, on the national level, that own the majority of the pre-owned vehicles that is listed today. Think about the independent market space, right? Higher mileage, edgier, tend to be rougher cars, and many are buy here, pay here type of vehicles. So as a mix, what's in the available retail mix right now, we're showing is not the best type of inventory that we're looking for, because the higher quality, low mileage, recent 0 to 3, and then 4 to 6 year old, those are hard to get. Those are hard to find right now, and that's evidence as we see by the current retail mix of inventory. This is from our retail market analytics. This is a national view, but in essence, what I'm sharing with you here, that each one of the colors represents what particular segment has the highest concentration being listed for purchase. So the light green that you see on the top right here, that's the mid-size crossover SUV in green, averaging right at 19% of overall retail listing available. In the yellow is a full-size pickup truck. 16% of all vehicles listed is a full-size pickup truck. The blue is the compact crossover SUV in blue, roughly 18%. So here's the story. Full-size pickup trucks are averaging over $45,000 right now. Now, if the consumer is feeling the pinch of the increased interest rates, as we remember, for every 1 point increase in interest, that impacts a payment by $13. In the beginning of the summer, good rate was 2%. Today it's 7% for a pre-owned car. And that's if you had prime credit. If you had near prime credit, which half the country does, you're looking at 10, 12% interest. So think about in terms of every time the interest rate goes up, the Fed jacks their rate up, what does that mean to the overall payment? One or two things has to give away. One or two things. You either have to decrease the price to make the payment affordable, extend the term, which the terms are already maxed. We are right now 84 to 96 month terms are being offered right now. And nearly 45% of all loans done based on Experian auto data credit, finance for 72 months, 72 months. That's 6 years on a finance, on a 2-year-old vehicle. Car's 8 years old by the time you're done paying for it. So you start to get a picture of we're overweight right now. We're too heavy on the higher price side of inventory. Then the next category you have to take a look at is what is the volume share by age of model right now? You can see how light we are on 2023s. We've got some 2023s that are out there in the market. You got some 2022s that you see right here, 30%, 2022. You see the green is 2023 and 2020 on the top. You can see how light it's starting to get when you take a look at the overall volume share by age. Now I can get even more granular and break it down by not only by year model, but by average price point, average mileage by price point. When you really get into that, the picture gets even more bleak, because you start to see that in the last 6 months, that in order to have inventory, because we haven't had enough new car inventory, dealers have been buying older cars, like slightly higher than average miles or even higher mileage, just to have something to sell. And last but not least, that really tells the story about why the flip, the conversion of why independents have more inventory than franchise dealers today, is our auction action. Last week, we're at 58% sell-through rate. This week, we're at 56% sell-through rate. The majority of the inventory that's flowing through the auctions right now, higher mileage, edgier, riskier vehicles, again, mostly independents. But here's the catch-22. A lot of the inventory too was acquired 3 months ago at the peak of wholesale pricing. And a lot of these sellers are trying to hold the line to recoup as much money as they possibly can. Hopefully, someone will pay the price now. And based on the sell-through rate, no one's buying. We're at 56%. It's one of the lowest we've seen in a long time. As you can see here, we're going back to, this is 2020. You look at the left side of the screen at 2020. We had a 20%, 15, and 20% sell-through rate. We're at 56% now. Okay? We're on a precipice. All we need is a few things to change that can really change the story for us drastically. And that's it. I wanted to say thank you for letting me share this, and let's bring up and open up for conversation.
I was just saying, I think I just got caught on camera taking a selfie during the show. So, because I tell you what, honestly, is that, yeah. So, I mean, well, you said it when you started the presentation, is that that was 2.5 years ago.
Yes, sir.
A lot has changed in 2.5 years.
It sure has.
That is so cool.
It sure has.
Man, that's so cool. And we've been pivoting like crazy. Ty, go ahead.
Paul, so there's a lot of information there. Can you tell us what you think? Maybe give us a 3-month projection.
So we are expecting to see at minimum a 15% drop in wholesale valuations by November. And my recommendation is take the deal now, sell out, because you will be able to trade and buy more inventory as people become desperate. Actually, there was an article just posted on LinkedIn not even 3 hours ago talking about a survey that Bank of America did across several, it was like 10,000 plus of their people with their bank checks, the checking account statements, and asking, what do you feel about the economy? And over 71% said that they don't feel good about it. They're having a hard time making time to meet. The average median income in the country today is $72,000. And if you take a look at what's called DTI in the mortgage side of the base, that's called debt to income. Their rule of thumb, just for the house payment, is on the high side, 28%. Ideally, they want to see you at 28% mortgage payment to your average monthly income. We're right now, the National Association of Realtors said we're at 38% just for the mortgage payment. Now you got to figure out the astronomical high car payments that people are, $1,000 a month on average between car payment and insurance, and how much longer can they handle the debt load when interest rates keep going up? So somehow remember that image I talked about, that the dam's going to break soon. There's regulations keep coming out to try to prevent it from happening, but there's only so far you can kick the can down the road. So when dealers are buying inventory, I think they need to be appraising and buying cars with an eye on what that vehicle should be worth in November, December, and going into January time frame. They will be safer. As Jason Rice always says, lean and clean. You win both ways. you win both ways. And he's right. Tim Scallops with the Mountain Block of Ice. That's another one, right? But all you're going to do is just lose the money. And now we're losing money at one of the fastest rates consistently week over week that we've seen since 2020. I'm sorry, it's 2008.
Wow, that's crazy. Go ahead, Jay.
So I was going to say, so let's do this. As we're talking, I'm going to go ahead and bring in, let's bring in, I don't have my drum roll, but we're going to bring in Jeremy at Preowned Auto Logistics. Jeremy will be an exhibitor at Digital Dealer. And so I hear the doorbell and he's coming in right now. Jeremy, can you see us and hear us okay? I may have jumped the gun. And by the way, thank you, Becky Chernick, in the live chat. Paul, thank you for inviting Becky to join us tonight on ATI. That is really cool.
I felt like she could add some value to, all things automotive that we're getting into.
That's right. That's right. I was going to say, so her, Becky, I'm going to share the link in the live chat, ccillearningscenter.com. Mm-hmm. Paul, in a nutshell, can you say tell us what Becky does?
So if you guys remember, one of my strategies is finding those lenders and credit unions that are very creative with alternative financing resources. And she has found her niche where she's helping dealers understand the value behind inserting themselves in between the refinancing opportunity. Typically, we're going to, as I said, we're heading into a market where people have overfinanced inventory, and they need to bring down what they're paying by refinancing it, maybe cutting some product or whatnot. She's figured out a way to help dealers inject themselves in that process so they don't lose out of that opportunity and they can stay in the customer life cycle.
Well, perfect. Thank you for that, Paul. And like I said, I put Becky's link in the live chat, ccillearningscenter.com. That's the way we roll at ATI Auto Business. Jeremy, Preowned Auto Logistics, can you see us and hear us okay?
I can. Can you see and hear me okay?
How you doing, Jeremy? It's good to see you.
Hey, Paul, what's cracking? That was awesome, by the way. You packed so much into just a few minutes. Well done. You're a pro.
Definitely. I'm still spinning. I'm like, wow. Jeremy, how have you been, buddy?
What's happening, Ty? I haven't seen you since the PAL party.
Well, I know, but I stay in touch with Kevin. We were talking, we've got a couple of things that we were working on. He was supposed to get with you about a couple of the guys that are part of the IARA, Chris and Jack, I think was their name. Jim Jackson, I think. So anyway, we'll talk about that later. But also, I stay in touch with Kevin. He was telling me about a tow truck company you guys ran into some trouble with. So you got to watch out for the tow truck companies that you stash cars at, and just in case you didn't know that, right?
Yeah. We're fortunate. We have lots of great partnerships all around the country. Every once in a while, something doesn't go perfectly. That's why 20 years experience is helpful. We've kind of seen a few things in our time. So nothing we can't handle. Certainly won't badmouth anybody. I'm sure we'll be able to work everything out.
No, that's good. I just really enjoy staying in touch with Kevin. I'd like to call you. I know you and Dana, everybody's busy, but think about you guys a lot. So I'm glad I got to see you tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to see you too, Ty. And Jay, I think we had the pleasure of speaking at the end of last week. So it's not been too long, but it's been a bit since we've seen each other. So it's nice to see you, buddy.
It is. It's nice to see you. And Ty and I got to catch up today. We didn't go live Friday because we just instead of doing a 30-minute live show, we did a 90-minute private meeting. Everybody is busy at the speed of light. I'm assuming everybody's email inboxes are stuffed to the gills. And so just for you to take the time to join us tonight, we really appreciate that. It means a lot to us. And I shared a link to the Party with Pal. If you didn't see ATI Party with Pal, click that and save it and watch it after the show. But right now, so Jeremy, you're going to be a Digital Dealer next month, right? What's going on at Digital Dealer next month?
Yeah, so this will actually be my third time at Digital Dealer. My second time in Vegas. I was at Tampa back in May. It's a really cool show. There are folks like Paul that are probably far more versed in the history of this show than I am. and anyone please tell me if I'm accurate on this, but I think the show's morphed over time. I think that it's kind of finding a new niche right now. I'd be curious, Paul, what your thoughts are on how that conference has changed over time. I'm sort of just privy to the latest. But one of the things that I really love about this show is connecting to a lot of digital third-party companies in the auto industry. There are so many folks, innovative folks, doing really cutting-edge stuff with technology in the digital age, and intersections are all over the place. So for me, just kind of walking around the floor, talking to folks, learning about some tech I've never heard of, and then sometimes getting into these crazy conversations like, hey, you do that, we do this. So it's just it's kind of an eye-opening show. I'm excited to be back at the Mirage in Vegas. So mostly there to learn, to be honest. There's just a lot of cool people out there.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a great experience. It has migrated. It's transitioned from just a hardcore, vendor, dealer, sales relationship kind of thing. Now it's really into the knowledge and education sharing and insights and really, trying to help everyone stay ahead of what's already out. We saw 6 months ago, 6 months in the future, and it's already here. That's what I see happening with it.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to say this for anybody that knows the Fixed Ops Roundtable themes, Mighty Morphin Fixed Ops Roundtable. And I say this, right? I know that's strange, but that's the way we roll on ATI. I think that you're really onto something, and that ties into what Ty was saying, and really what Paul was saying about 2.5 years ago is that if you're not constantly pivoting, I don't know if you're reading the news.
Yeah, I think wise folks say an organization must move and grow to survive. So you got to keep with it, keep learning, grow every day. Read, listen, watch ATI a lot.
Oh, that's so nice.
Doing something right.
All right,
Jay, I'm not sure if I can mention this. I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay, good.
Is there actually? Do you have a bit of a Mighty Morphin backstory, or is that? I didn't mean to call you out. Is that okay to say?
I worked on Power Rangers Galaxy in, I don't know, 98.
Back in the Hollywood days, when you were hobnobbing on the West Coast, you were right in the action with that. I'm right about that, right?
Oh yeah, you are, man. Yeah, those are the good old days. Second unit stuntman was my specialty. I would
awesome.
drag out the stunt mats and glue stuff together that they smashed up. And we're going again. So yeah, exactly. That was it. That was crazy times.
I apologize for derailing the show, but I think I can bring us back in. I actually had a question for Paul, if I could throw that out there. When you were going through everything that you brought in, so one of the things as an auto transportation company and on the station, I'm sure we're all looking out for, is how these trends influence different buying cycles, different buyers, different methods for buying. How's transportation going to be impacted? And I guess rolling it back to your area of expertise, how do you see any of these buying trends changing, and in particular in ways that might intersect with what carriers are looking at? I
think you'll see more, I call it the baton type of transportation with central hubs set out through the country. I think I introduced you to the guys at parkmyfleet.com. Yeah. They've got 15 already set up nationwide. Those kind of hubs will reduce the need and the time and the expense it takes to pay for one large ship to go from one end to the other, where it gets dropped off and the baton gets passed and someone picks it up. And you'll see, and as Jay remembers and Ty does, that show 2.5 years ago, I dropped that bomb and said, you're going to start seeing more and more 2 and 3 car carriers doing those final deliveries. And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, that kind of Walmart or Amazon impact.
Yeah, I counted last week. I counted 9 different Carvana vehicles driving through my area. 9 different ones, trucks with one Carvana car on it.
See, Jeremy, I think that's a really good question because this spills over. Everything we're talking about always spills over into transportation. And so, me, with my experience, which I'm not saying I'm right and I'm not saying I'm wrong, but I'm always watching the dealer. Is he selling cars? What's his lot look like? And then I'm listening to guys like Paul, and I'm trying, okay, well, if the price of the used car is declining, everybody better hurry up and get rid of it in 30 days. If it's still sitting there, it's on fire. I'm going to look at the dealer and I'm going to think, I don't think this guy's going to be buying a lot of cars. So I'm a dealer to auction auction to dealer. That's my lane. So when I see and hear things like this, I'm starting to pump my brakes and figure out what do we need to cut? What do I need to reduce? Because as a transport company, I mean, and Jeremy, you talk way more about this, but there is the value of being lean and clean, just like Jason and Paul say, right, Paul?
Yep, that's right.
And it doesn't all feel destructive either. I think what Paul suggests allows for a lot of creation, a lot of creativity, a lot of things to kind of grow. So, while
yeah, I mean, Jeremy, we'll still have those, full spiders, but they just won't be traveling as far, and the cost disbursement will be shared amongst the smaller, fewer mileage carriers that go from. So, to Jay's point, finding that lane, own that lane that has the spider. But if you're not going to own that lane, then you need to own the drop-off point.
So here's what we're going to do. Awesome, man. I'm loving this. What we're going to do, let's go ahead and add Anthony Greenhalgh of Rapid Recon as we continue to grow our digital dealer energy panel. Anthony, can you see us and hear us okay?
I can see you and hear you.
Awesome. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's good to see everybody.
Good to see you, Anthony. Thanks for coming.
You keeping Johnny Canales in check, Anthony?
Oh, I think he's keeping me in check.
All right, I threw in enough dead air. I try to do that. What I do is I talk and talk and talk, and then I try to muzzle. But obviously, I have more to say. And we're doing a couple things tonight. One is that when Paul drops videos, that's when we want to bring him back. And because Paul, what's it like you gave your presentation, and it was a video, right? You recorded it. And then you shared the video, but then you present it live. What's that difference like, being in that driver's seat?
Well, it helps when I do the video first. It's like, practicing my lines. It helps when I go live much smoother.
Yeah, I could see that. And so then transitioning into Anthony, you're live with us here. We know, you do a lot. Rapid Recon, I did a search. Rapid Recon has a lot of content. Tell us more about what's going on with Rapid Recon content, digital dealer.
Oh man, there's all kinds of stuff going on right now. Obviously, being in the reconditioning world, we always have strong points in this market. When the market is doing amazing and dealers are struggling to get things done, they love Rapid Recon. When the market slows and dealers are trying to get better and do more with less, they love Rapid Recon.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of the dealership, I ran a collision center for a multi-point franchise dealer. We had 12 franchises. Nobody ever came into my office and said, "I'm so happy to be here." I came to work for Rapid Recon, and everybody's always excited to be here. So, we'll get into content in a minute. But I got to tell you, I've been at this job now for 6 years, and every time I come to work, I'm kind of like, something's gonna happen. Like, this is too good. Something's not right. But so we're headed to Digital Dealer, not next week, but the week after, and we're actually sharing a booth space. Well, they won't actually let us say we're sharing it, but we're combining a booth space with Auto Packet, which is it's a customer-facing tool that helps educate consumers as they're buying the car. They can see the history on the car. They can see what reconditioning was done to the car. They can see the Rapid Recon report. So their product complements ours very, very nicely, and vice versa. So we're excited to go to Digital Dealer. Ty, I'm assuming you're going to be there. You're kind of that voice. Every time I turn around at a convention, you're there. So.
He moves around like lightning. Yeah, I'm literally looking forward to seeing this. All you guys at the Rapid Recon. And really, the more we get to know you guys, and that I probably will never stop talking about it. But that Oaks Kia demo in Kansas City with Chris, that was when you say
sick.
Yeah, when you say like you go to work for the last 6 years and you really keep pinching yourself, I'm still high off the Oaks Kia Rapid Recon and Chris. I mean, I'm not kidding. I love what you guys do, and I got to see it, and that's what really is cool. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be at the conference, and we're definitely going to hang out.
Good. And I was a Rapid Recon customer before I came to work for this company, and I know that we shouldn't turn this into a Rapid Recon commercial, but it's hard for me not to talk about it because it's exciting. And it literally changed my life. And I know this is a transport show, right? We had a lot of people on that are talking transport. But they definitely transport cars. I be in a collision center for 12 franchises. Trust me, I know a lot about transport and damage that comes in. That's
we
not
saw
the
a transporter
companies.
live during the show.
Yep.
You know what? It is a transport show because if you're an automotive, you transport cars.
True, transport cars.
That's right. So Anthony, when I was there, when I was at the conference for Rapid Recon, that was one of the main focuses that I tried to help your team understand is the connection, the critical connection between transportation and reconditioning to get that vehicle frontline ready, and to help a dealer understand what Rapid Recon can do to help offset the overall transportation expenses as well. It's a great partnership. If you can partner with, Jeremy at PAL or Ty or Jay or any of the other car haulers that are on here, if Rapid Recon can create that partnership and say, hey, I know that you've got your costs are fixed and they're pretty much where they are. If you can bring me into your dealer that knows you and gets advice from you, I can help. We can both help the dealer with their turn time, and we can help you with your bottom line.
Yeah, and hopefully we make the transport's life a little bit easier, right?
Absolutely.
And working on the dealership side, that transport pulls up, and the poor kid that's got to help and check all that stuff in, we don't pay him enough. And so he's out there like, oh, here comes another truck. And I know what your drivers are dealing with when they roll into a dealership and they've got some ornery 16-year-old kid checking in cars. I have a lot of empathy for what the people in your audience go through. I've seen it way back in the day. I was probably one of those people, or at least I was standing around in the parking lot watching those people. So, I have some empathy for you too. And hopefully with Rapid Recon and tightening up the communication in the dealership, we can help make the transporter's life just a little bit easier.
Well, I want to jump in and say, this is what's so great about like bringing you, Rapid Recon, into the fold at ATI is that we're learning more about reconditioning, and we're able to share that, whether it's a transportation bottleneck, a bottleneck of cars at parts, in service, and PDR, that these bottlenecks are bad wherever they are. This is why departments argue with each other. This is why dealers argue with carriers. This is what starts arguments, is
right.
Lack of transparency to see where the bottlenecks are and why, actually we want to know, how can we help? How can we help reduce bottlenecks everywhere? Ooh, did anybody
one of the things
down?
I really love, one of the things I love, if I could jump in real quick, one of the things I love about this show is talking to folks outside of, the traditional auto transport industry, finding those overlaps. And then kind of having that moment where like, oh yeah, I get why that's probably a tough gig. And I think that communication, that understanding, folks kind of, thinking about what the other one's doing, like Jay said, but the other side of that too, think about what the transport is going through. I mean, that's going to make everyone's life better, in my opinion, right? We're all going to have more empathy, understanding, and maybe try to get that driver out of the lot with a smile, as opposed to, kicking him to the side and telling him to get out of the way.
But there'll be a lot of technological pain trying to achieve all this transparency. And we're trying to help alleviate that too. I mean, there's going to be, there's a lot of education and products. I mean, look at, you got carriers with a dozen apps already. They're like, whoa. And man, the party just started, dude.
Well, on the dealership side, some of our top performing dealers, when they're checking in cars, they'll put 2 or 3 guys on it when they're unloading off transport. Our QR sticker goes right in the windshield. They scan the car, they log it. They do a 6-point photo check of that car, and that gets logged into our system, and then it goes into Recon. Transport. I remember I worked in automotive long enough to remember the days when you could call a transport driver or a transport company up 48 hours after the car was delivered and say, I have damage, and they would do something. I mean, today, if it's not noted on the bill of lading, you're done. So to have all those eyes on the car right there, really, it takes the liability off of the transport company and the driver, and gets that back on the dealer. And a tool like ours helps the dealer manage that information so much more efficient, and hopefully it gets them off of the lot quicker if the dealer's paying attention and using our tool the way that it was designed to be used. The communication is going to be tight at the store, but it's also going to be quicker for the transport driver.
That's right. It certainly will be.
Here's what I want to do. Marco is here, and we've got Marco Maggiore at McCollister's Transportation Group now joining. Please say hello in the live chat. We might be lucky enough to have a special guest. One more addition, but Marco, can you see us and hear us?
I can. Good evening.
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Good. Thanks for inviting me to the party tonight. Really appreciate it.
Well,
Hey, Marco.
we're glad to have you. Okay, so
Hi.
Marco, tell us more about McCollister's. You've been here twice, but you're back. You're a digital dealer as an exhibitor. Tell us more, Marco.
You know what? I am so excited to be a digital dealer this year. It's really the culmination point of almost a year's worth of work here at McCollister's, as we're using digital dealer as the official kickoff, introducing our Auto Vista portal specifically for our dealership partners. So a lot of news has been flying within McCollister's over the last 60 days or so. There was an acquisition of horseless carriage that added to our already pretty good size enclosed fleet. And now that we have our technology piece about to launch, we're just very, very excited about getting out there and showing this off to some of the folks.
That'd be good. So Marco's going to be a digital dealer. You're going to have your new technology. You're rolling it all out, right?
We are. We spent about a year's worth of, instead of just building out some technology thinking, hey, dealers would really like this, is we've actually been meeting with dealership partners over the last 9 months or so and learning what they want, not only from us as a technology provider, but also as an auto transport provider as well. So we like to build the product based upon people that are using it and what they want, as opposed to just trying to predict, hey, that'll be cool, let's throw in there, they'll probably use that. So it's been a lot of work, but we're excited about it.
I want to know what Marco's product is. Can you tell us now, or is it a secret and we have to find out in 2 weeks?
I can. I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. Absolutely.
I just want to know.
Good one,
Come on.
Good job, Anthony.
So our technology allows our dealership partners the ability to do a lot of the custom tasks that you would expect out of an auto transport company, which is to be able to book orders online, whether it's single units, 10 units, 10 truckloads, be able to track that, get automatic updates, see GPS locations of where the trucks are in transit. But the important part, and this is where the dealers really came in, is there's an entire analytics and reporting package that's designed to help them slice and dice up data and really figure out from a dealership level to a regional level to an entire group level what's going on with that car every step of the way, whether it's not only our transport, but whether it's also pictures that need to happen for new inventory that's coming in, working with reconditioning companies so that they can see every step of that journey of that vehicle, so to speak, and be able to have analytics behind it. So they know, hey, groups in this area are averaging 2 to 3 days to get tasks done. groups in this area are taking a little bit longer, which all impacts the bottom line. Why is that happening? What can we do to change that? It really leans into our approach of being a consultative entity as opposed to just a transporter who brings cars from point A to point B. So we're very excited about unveiling that and demoing that. So anyone interested in learning more, please stop by our booth. We'd love to have conversations.
Well, I'll stop by your booth. I mean, I'm always interested in stuff that helps dealers get better.
Great.
Anything that we can do to help our dealers get better, even if it's outside the scope of our product, it certainly helps us. You know, we're more than like you. I'm sure we're more than just software. We're a fair amount of consulting too, and there's a lot of overlap and stuff that we don't handle. We recognize that we do reconditioning really well, like you do transport technology and tracking very well. And so it would be nice to have a tool like yours in our arsenal.
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. And I heard others talking about this too. The other great part about these shows is it's a chance to meet other people, right, that are in this space and learn what they bring to the table, forge relationships and partnerships. And it's all about just having a better customer experience. So that's the exciting part for us, is also being able to go out there and shake hands with folks and lean on their experience and what they do and try and figure out how can we work together to offer a better product for everyone involved in the transportation world.
Great. That's exciting.
Amazing. So, all right. So booth number, Marco, what's your booth number?
1006, 1006 is our booth number. Yep.
Oh, this would have been good Larry trivia. Dang it. Anthony, what's your booth number? Does it start with a 6?
Jay,
is it 622?
I'm having a technical difficulty.
I don't. I'm going to share the screen. I know I got this. Dude, I got this. You know what?
Oh, man. That's embarrassing.
Do you know how you know
No.
this? Hey, if you don't know your booth number, go to digitaldealer.com. And then on this drop down, you got exhibitor. Let's see, you can go to floor plan, or you can go to exhibitor directory. And then on the exhibitor directory, you just look up the name. Let's look up Rapid Recon. And I want to say 622. Oh, it's 826.
There it is.
Okay, 826.
It's not
let's
too
see.
far from Marco. We can make it.
McCollister is 1006. Yeah, you think we can fit it in the same day? It is Las Vegas. I mean, it's a lot of walking. Jeremy and Preowned Auto Logistics, you're in 522.
522.
522.
522.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think okay.
Where's Lotpop?
Lotpop is 625. I knew there was a 6 in there.
There we go.
We love Jason.
So then now we're trying to get Jason to join in. I know he's really busy. So he's got so much going on. But you can also, I went to you go to exhibitor drop down, go to Las Vegas floor plan, and this is where you can see let's see here. 1006 is here. There's McCollister's Auto Transport and Logistics. 826 Rapid Recon is up here. Lotpop's right over here. You can throw rocks from Rapid Recon to Lotpop, but we don't suggest it.
No, not at the conference.
We actually throw books back and forth.
Books. There you go.
Jason's got that. He's got that new WTF book. I don't know if he's on, man, but
it's a great read.
But the title is genius. I mean, everybody in the store, I got to show you this like this is a stamp that's in my desk drawer. And it's not for Jason's book. It was for something else, but it just happens to have that same title. I have to high five him next time I see him on that title. It's amazing. And for your people that your audience that hasn't read it, it is a really good read, especially anybody that's in the automotive industry. It's absolutely wonderful.
So you just remind me the context here. Okay, we're only talking to a few folks in the exhibitor hall. Can you imagine how much education there is just on the exhibitor hall?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wow.
Mm-hmm.
All those other booths, plus you got the presentations, speakers, 3-day agenda. I'm pretty jealous. Ty, you're going to be there. I'm going to be back in Studio One. What are you looking forward to, Ty? What's going to happen there?
What always happens, I always walk away with at least minimum 20 new friends, and I always forget email. Now I'm getting better. Okay, I'm getting better. Business cards, emails, phone number.
Ty comes
I'm
back
just
with
like,
a million stories and one business card.
Yeah. Oh, I'm running around with a microphone, and you talk to all these people and have so much fun. I'm trying harder. I really am. So, no, I mean, this is what really gets me excited is you got guys like Paul, you got guys like Anthony, you got Jeremy, and who else is on here?
Marco.
I just went blank. Oh, Marco. I'm sorry. Yeah, and to get to go and like Anthony, I've got to meet. Marco, I get to shake. Now, Marco probably knows I'm a hugger, right? It's not a handshake. It's here's a hug. But no, just these relationships and being able to see, because like here's what's really bizarre. Like I think this is no joke. I was thinking about Marco in Rapid Recon today, not necessarily Anthony, but I was thinking these two technologies, maybe Rapid Recon never wants to have anything to do with transportation, but maybe Marco here in Rapid Recon, they leverage each other's network and relationships, and they get to talk to each other if they like it, if it works. And Jeremy. Too, yeah, that's right. Preowned. And anyway, just seeing it evolve over time, just like when Paul Machin was on here, and I remember him talking about people picking up and dropping off cars in driveways thinking, where'd this guy come from? Here we are today, and Paul Machin is the prophet, So anyway, that's what I'm excited about.
Brother Prophet. I like that. Do you know, by the way, Jasen Lotpop, I think he thinks he might get a chance here in a few minutes to join us. Does everybody have like another 10 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
We're good. We're good on time. Yeah, I tried to get through that industry news quicker than normal. That's 2 weeks in a row I've done that. Anthony. Oh, I thought Anthony. By the way, Anthony, I want to say I was listening to. This is what I like about having so much media out there is that I was listening to Dennis. Tell me the owner's name. Dennis McGinn.
Dennis McGinn. Yeah.
McGinn. Okay. Founder. Is that right?
Right.
Founder. And he was talking about when he started Rapid Recon, it had to do with seeing the chaos of reconditioning at the dealership. And I thought, it really is. Once you walk into a room of chaos, it's an aha moment, isn't it?
It really is. And being a Rapid Recon user before I came to work here, I mentioned that earlier. Products like Rapid Recon or like Rapid Recon in general, it doesn't make a technician turn the wrench any faster. It doesn't make carpet dry any quicker. What it does is it removes the obstacles that really get in people's way. Most of it's downtime. You got to remember, in the automotive industry, technicians only stop working for two reasons: either to get parts or to get information. Well, I guess let's call it three: to get cars, which is where this whole audience starts. But to get parts or get information, and eliminating that chaos with a product like Rapid Recon just takes away all that non-value added time, and it doesn't make people faster. It makes them more efficient, and that's important to every technician. I think it's important to all of us, right?
Yeah.
But there is no chaos like the chaos of a load board. I don't know how much you know about this.
I don't.
See, that's the reason I started this channel. Now, I'm not trying to liken myself to Dennis McGinn, but I understand what he's saying when he walked into the dealership and saw chaos in reconditioning. 10 years ago, when I got introduced to the load board, I was like, how do you make sense out of all this stuff? Mm-hmm. It's constantly changing. People say and do whatever. Do you know that 10 years later, nothing's changed?
I believe
Except
it.
There's a couple more apps.
Right. That's right.
And being on the service end of this, those transport trucks would pull in, and it would be like, finally we have inventory. But the used car managers they wanted it frontline ready so fast that a lot of times, I mean, maybe your audience should hear this, but if transport was behind and those cars showed up, the dealer's clock is ticking from the time that they buy the car, not from the time that it arrives there.
That's right.
So if those cars are 5 or 10 days old,
nobody's there to tell the transport guy, And even if you tell the transport guy, Todd, what is he
My
going to do?
ETA is my ETA.
I found it on Facebook 3 months ago. In bold letters, the guy wrote, my ETA is my ETA.
Right, but that's what I like about this channel. This is real conversation, and Anthony's right. It's the clock starts ticking as soon as the car is purchased, even before the check's sent. The clock's ticking, at least in the dealer's head. And this conflict that Anthony's talking about between the sales and the service, that's real. I mean, I got to see it. And so when you're late as a transport guy and you're not communicating, even if it's, and I mean, it took me probably about 6 phone calls of the dealer just ripping me a new one. And here's what they would always say every time. Tell anybody in here, tell me I'm wrong. Ty, if you're going to be late, I need to know.
Yep.
You can be late. I need to know. Just tell me when the cars are going to be. I never really understood that until I got chewed out a bunch of times, and I pull in late into the service, and I'm dropping the cars off, running as fast as I can, and they're just eating these cars. I mean, just, and I'm like, wow, they're not kidding, because they're getting the pressure from somebody else, and somebody else is pressuring them, and it all comes back to there's money involved here, lots of money. And people, I don't think that the average transport guy really understands the amount of money that's pushing this thing. And I think the sooner, that's what I like about ATI, the sooner the transportation community really understands what's driving this, it's either going to make you embrace it, love this industry even more, or you're going to run.
Right now,
I'm extreme.
When the car hauler shows up at the dealership, it's kind of like right after COVID hit and they were bringing pallets of toilet paper into Home Depot, and people were just like, "Give me the whole pallet." That's how it is with the.
And I think Marco, please go ahead.
No, I was just saying, to Anthony's point, is that's what we were hearing a lot from our dealer partners, is that everyone that's part of this process is so siloed in what they're doing, is that they don't understand what the impact is cumulatively, right? Because dealers want to have speed from purchase of inventory from auction, having it frontline ready, getting it up, getting pictures up, having it, all ready to go. And what we're trying to do, and through partnerships, and it's partnerships through folks like Jeremy, right? Because at McCollister's, we're not just asset-based, we're a brokerage as well. So we're looking for other partners to bring in this. Anthony, you bring a product to this table as well, is that we're trying to be able to provide them a snapshot of everything that's going on so that they can see the whole picture, and we can work with partners as well so that they understand where are we soft at, right? Where are there breakdowns in the system? Where do we have to focus our attention on? Because they're siloed as well. You get these large dealer group, and each dealer group is doing their own independent thing, and they're losing out on the power that they can have working as a dealership group. So that's really what I think, our takeaway was, and what we're trying to help get accomplished here. But it's going to depend on our partnerships with other folks who have disciplines. That's not necessarily something we do at McCollister's, but we work together. And I think that's what our purpose is, and that's what we're hoping to achieve going to digital dealer.
I think the key being siloed, right? That there's so many moving parts, cogs in the wheel, that are essential to help a dealer operate, and that they're not communicating with each other. When I was with Rapid Recon just a month ago, and one of the things I talked about then was the average cost per day. Because because you're right. Once a dealer buys that car, the lane, they start paying for it right then and there. And last month it was $46 per day on average. Today it's a little more than 51. And when the next rate hike increase, it's going to be closer to 55. So when you start calculating, 7 to 9 days for transport just to get the car there, and then now my parts and service people are telling me 4 to 5 business days for overall reconditioning, times that at $51 today, $55 in November. That adds up, and that's before the dealer has that car frontline ready.
And it's not included
number.
What's not included in that is the lost wages from the technician.
Absolutely.
So why the techs are so twisted when transport shows up late is every hour they come to work, they have so many hours that they can sell. If they don't have anything to work on, they lose that. It's gone, and you can never replace it. Imagine standing around at your job and making no money. And so what happens is all that backlog comes in, and all of a sudden you have 20 vehicles that you can work on, but the dealer's panicking because those aren't on the front line. So they take all those cars that you were going to work on as a dedicated technician, and you had said at the end of the month, I'm going to work on all these cars and it's going to pay me this much money and that's going to pay my mortgage. When that transport shows up late and the store is twisted, they'll take all that inventory and they'll grab all of their techs, all their line techs, and they'll disperse all those vehicles through all their techs, and they'll get the cars done fast. And that dedicated technician that's dedicated all of his time to fixing that car just made 25% of what he needed to in order to pay his bills. That will make people panic. So, you know, when you show up at the store and you're a little bit late and you're going, why is that guy so twisted, man? Chill out. It's a really big deal. His livelihood is on the line, and it's riding on all 18 of one of your wheels, all 18 of your wheels.
There's the technology add-on. You need to gamify how you're affecting the livelihood of other workers, and that will
Data changes everything.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this, this technology is kind of doing that. To Ty's point, where the dealer's saying, "Hey, Ty, just let us know if you're going to be late." I mean, at the point where the customer's telling you you're late, you blew it. I mean, you already that's too late. It's way too late. So I think one of the things that these technologies do, and Marco, I'm sure your technology is pretty similar in some respects to what we're doing, and then so the integration piece is that we're able to communicate sort of an on-demand basis to these clients. If they want some information, hey, what's the ETA? When's the vehicle going to be there? They have access and portals to kind of see that stuff. Their systems are integrating with the transporter systems. So if they flip a status change in their system, it's going to generate a request over here. All these communications kind of go back. The drivers have their handheld apps where they're putting in their condition reports and ETAs, and that information is flowing. So I think, and then with the API integrations, we're able to connect all these different systems into one ecosystem, hopefully, where all these clients can kind of see their piece of it. All these vendors, everyone that's a part of this chain can see it. And so your client really should never say, hey, when's this car gonna get here? They just, it's all that information, that technology, it's communication.
All right, gentlemen, he's got about 1 minute to join us. We're going to add Jason Rice. This will be the fastest segment ever on ATI. Jason, can you see us and hear us? If he still has time, we'll see. And then we're going to wrap up this show, I think, shortly, but we'll see if he we might have ran out his clock because I was trying to find the right point to bring him in. Everybody say hello in the live chat. We're going to be here a few more minutes. Jason's getting his camera ready, his audio ready. Dennis C. Chavez, Paul is here. We got John. Jason, can you see us and hear us?
Yeah, I'm finally on.
All right, cool. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sorry, man.
All right.
No, it's like, and trying to the parenting in the car business, I got to have flexibility. I do my wife does the day stuff. I try to help out at night, and the kids need to go to bed and all that stuff. I got to go pick up my daughter from a soccer game. So I wanted to jump on for a few minutes. Thanks.
Awesome. All right. Well, do us a favor. So you're speaking at Digital Dealers, all right?
Yeah, I've got a session last day, as a matter of fact, and one of the last sessions there, and we'll have a booth.
All right. And so what's the booth about? What's the speech about?
Well, the mostly integrating, lead management with our inventory management with lead management. One of the things that we're really focusing on is dealers are obviously probably getting less leads, sometimes a little bit less traffic. There's less shoppers right now. So able to help dealers kind of recycle the leads, what we call switch leads, those active leads on cars that sold, see if we can switch them to something else, but really to be able to pinpoint issues on your lot. Let's say if you're heavy and large pickup trucks to your current sale rate, to be able to isolate the leads on those first and call and email those leads before you just start dropping pricing. Or if you're 31 to 45 age bucket, you're not selling enough compared to what's sitting there. Well, again, let's isolate those leads, call and email those leads, and what we call an acronym for POP, for Lotpop. An acronym for POP would be processes on purpose. Instead of just sitting there doing a 10-day call, 4-day email, 10-day email, 30-day call, that's just kind of, factory work, almost punching the clock. But now if we can actually attack the leads with a purpose based on the situations of our lot, that's the stuff I'm going to cover. show how we're able to help dealers do that.
Anybody have a question or pitch for Jasen?
I don't, but I know Jasen.
I know. I watched one of your videos the other day, and I thought I heard you say if you're a dealer and you want to come to the university, you can come. There's no charge for the university. Did I hear that?
Yeah, it's Lotpop U or lotpopuniversity.com, either one, lotpopu.com. It's a day and a half. Clients or no clients, we basically go over, I wrote the book on Work the Facts, all the metrics and stuff that, dealers should be tracking with their used car operations. So between the book, it's basically a day and a half of just entrenching into that data and why and how, and even pulling up some examples of how to price or appraise cars and things like that. So yeah, it's a good day and a half, and we make it available. It's one of those things I could charge for it, and maybe I should, because the attendance might, we got 15 people the last couple universities, but I just, this industry's been great to me, so I just like to give back. And again, there's nothing proprietary there. It's just metrics you should be paying attention to, and just kind of pointing those out.
But your approach, Jasen, is very much guided by real world insight that the dealers, and because you don't work for the dealer, you can actually tell the dealer what they need to hear, not what they would like to hear, right?
Yeah.
You're earning the right every single day. You and your team is earning the right to be in that dealer, to help them improve their business model. And then you've got the metrics to back it up when you can showcase that. That's what's missing from a lot of our partners in the world today, is they don't do that. They don't work hard to earn the right every single day, much less share those free insights that can help that dealer become more profitable in the long run. And that's what I love about what you're doing.
Thank you. And I appreciate that. And that's, again, a lot of dealers don't hire us to tell them how pretty they look and what they're doing good at. They obviously, you want to pat them on the back on the things that they're focusing on doing good at, but a lot of times they just know, hey, what can we be working on? It's like, where's our holes? Where's our issues? And again, when we back it up with their data, and again, it's data they could be pulling themselves manually and looking at it. It's just, time consuming and stuff. So that's what we try to do, is save that time and energy and just kind of keep nudging them in the right direction.
So, and I want to say, I think there's a common thread here with everybody here. It's not that we don't have a lot of services and information to offer, but you also have to be onboarded on what you're looking at and how to understand and navigate all the data, the oceans of data that you have right in front of you. Tough love. You need some tough love right now and then. Take your medicine.
Especially now when things start slowing down and getting tough, and it is getting tight for dealers. So, it's a good time for them to buckle down and reflect, because a lot of times they've been, there's a lot of dealers might be looking in the mirror wondering how they gained this 50 pounds, because I think they got pretty fat through these, these nice seasons and had good grosses and good inventory movement. Now all of a sudden, they're out of shape, I think. And it's kind of going to be a reality check, I think, over the next 60, 90 days.
Oh, big time.
You know what the bad news is? In the last 2 years, transportation companies weren't getting excessively fat.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's lean for dealers. It's super lean for transport, but those headlines are coming. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And we're seeing it already, and you're seeing it in wholesale numbers. I'm sure Paul's going to, went over a lot of that stuff, and, the metrics are moving in the wrong direction. It's just, one of the things I've noticed, and Paul, you might've hit on this, but I do got to get going, is, we're seeing wholesale kind of staying flat, even though retail has really slowed down. There's more inventory available. There's less shoppers. I just think on the dealers retail end, they just haven't had the I wouldn't say the guts or the necessity to totally get aggressive with their pricing to get things moving. I think this month was kind of a gut check that things slowed down. And so I think going into October, dealers are going to really start getting aggressive on pricing to get that inventory moving. Once they do that, 30 to 60 days later, wholesale is going to start dropping with it. But I think that's the only reason why wholesale has been able to stay pretty steady. You guys haven't really dropped the retail prices to get desperate yet. And then it's a trickle down from there, but we'll see.
Jasen, we know you got to go, so thank you so much for joining us in this final segment. We're really
thanks, Jasen.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem. I wish usually I take off. Last time I did this, I took off to the office and did it from there. But yeah, like I said, I just don't know how my.
But who gets this segment? Jasen.
Yeah, we're
Rice
happy to see Jasen Rice.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Thank you, man.
Thanks, Jason. We'll
Thanks,
see
guys.
you at Vegas.
Thanks,
Have a good one.
Jason. Talk to you.
See you, bud. See you, bud.
Bye.
All right. So as Jason goes, we're in our final thoughts. We don't have to hit final thoughts, but a lot has been presented and discussed. Anybody want to start?
I will. I just want to make sure that everybody that's listening, talk to your customers. That's working in the dealership. We understand that things happen. We cause a lot of the things that happen to our customers all the time too. And if we talk to them, they understand. I think everybody understands that things happen. Do not be worried about picking up the phone and telling somebody that something went wrong.
Right.
It's much better than them finding out later.
No, that's right. I mean, you just echoed what Ty says all the time when he's at the back lot talking to dealers and talking to the drivers at the dealer. If you are talking to your customers and really listening to their pain, you'd be amazed what can happen. And one thing I want to add, we're talking about how technology is improved to the point where it's more readily acceptable. I also posit that the John Q. public has also graduated to accept more and more usage of technology. In times past, there was a disconnect. Technology was ready to be released many years ago, but the public wasn't ready to use it. Pandemic forced it. So now we got technology and the public ready to accept it.
Good point.
I think building on that point, a space like Digital Dealer is where we can go talk to very smart folks like Paul and kind of connect some of those dots. And now that technology is there and our customers are ready to rock and roll this, let's put it all together. I think it's an exciting time for the industry, despite some of the negative news we heard over the course of the show. No fault of yours, Jay. That's kind of just what's going on out there. I think there's still a lot of opportunities.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, I'll agree and just, echo the same sentiments is that, technology is great, but even with technology, there is a question of how do you use it? What's it purpose for? How does it benefit everyone? And I think Digital Dealer would be a great opportunity for folks to understand what is out there, what could benefit them, and for folks in the technology space to understand what others are doing so that they can improve their product and their service as well. That's really, what I'm all excited about for Digital Dealer.
Right.
Hey, that's a great recap, and that's why we continue to talk about automotive trade shows. What's interesting is on the one hand, we feel like we can't say enough, and on the other hand, it's like for folks that can't go to the show, we feel like we're like bringing up a soft spot. So if you can't go to the show and there's something we can do to help, go to digitaldealer.com, look at the exhibitor list and say, Jay, I'd love to learn more about this company or that company. We'll let Ty know. And then we'll put Ty to work and say, listen, man, John wants you to talk to this company. Do it. All right. That's cool. So we're here
I'll
to
do
help.
it. That's what I'm going to be there for.
That's right. That's why. So Ty will be there live. Man, I'm so thankful to all of you for taking the time. We went longer than I had planned, but there was really so much to cover. Paul, great presentation. What a great way to kick off this discussion. And so I really want to thank everybody for taking the time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
See everyone.
All right. Stay in touch.
Thanks, Marco.
We'll see you soon.
Bye, Anthony. Bye,
We'll
Jeremy.
see you guys at the show. All right. And
Later, guys.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
This meeting is over. All right. This meeting is adjourned. Okay. Take care. Thank you. See you later. Okay. Oh, and that is the map. Yeah, that's the Digital Dealer map. So, yeah, again, we know we talk trade shows all the time, but we mean it. If there is a company or service at a trade show that we're going to go to, we try to go to as many as we can, and you can't go and you want to connect and you've got a question, we can be your conduit. We're ATI. I'm looking at the wrong camera. We're ATI, and we're your live conduit to the trade show. I'm Jay, your host. I'm here in the studio, and I'm trying to produce the channel that hopefully can help take you to the next level. Because I said it earlier, and it's been ringing in my mind the whole time. If you're not pivoting, I think eventually you're going to find somehow you've been left behind. And we don't want that. That's why we created this channel, so that you continue to pivot and grow your business. And we know that, Thermonuclear Thursdays, where we look at the load boards, it's like staring into the past when with all this other stuff we talk about. There's a lot of people still staring into the past. And I understand that too, because day after day after day, you got busy, but then one day you wake up and go, man, what happened? Well, ATI is here for you. We want to help you stay current and let us know how we can help you. Thank you guys so much for jumping in the live chat. Chris Chamberlain, thank you so much for the super chat earlier. Again, Mark Grodeke, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, John Robertson is here, and C. Chavez and Rebecca Chernick. Thanks for all the comments, and really do appreciate it. Again, I want to thank Murphy Auto Transport Services, Location Services, Superflow Systems, Rapid Recon, Preowned Auto Logistics, McCollister's Transportation Group, and Jason Rice for taking the time to join us tonight. Another great show. Paul Machin, thank you so much for that presentation. I appreciate everybody, whether you're live or on demand, in the live chat, or still doing a wait and see. Even if you're lurking in the hallways 3 years down the road, you're welcome at ATI Auto Business, connecting dealers, auctions, carriers, transportation, OEMs, technology, etc. Thank you so much for joining us for another Tuesday Nights Live. Please do check out the other shows. I put some links of some past Cars on the Move. If you're looking to figure out where we're going, check out Cars on the Move on Fridays at noon with Try live in the transport parking lot. Again, thanks everybody so much for tuning in, saying hello. You can always email me, send in the news, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Thank you all so much. Here comes the car hauler. Have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody. Thank you.